right, y'all. I'm about to do a quick story time about something that happened to me that I thought was really crazy. Um, and it's about my recent vacation that I just took. So, so I scheduled this vacation way last year, like early last year, right? And at the time, I was seeing this guy, and we had booked the cruise together, right? And so, of course, we broke up. And so the cruise was still on, but I took his name off the reservation, right? And he didn't like that, but let me tell you why I took his name off the reservation. Because I had already paid for a cruise and he never paid me back. He was supposed to pay me back, but he didn't pay me back. So I told him, I said, cool, since you didn't pay me for the last cruise, I said, we'll just check it up to this cruise. I'll take my daughter on this cruise with me, and you ain't got to worry about it, right? So that's the end of it, whatever. He wasn't happy about it, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to be on this cruise. I was like, well, shit, whatever. And at the time, like, the mud was struggling to pay. He was struggling to pay bills. He was struggling to, he was just struggling to do everything. Like, he just couldn't get it together. Like, he couldn't change a light bulb. He couldn't sweep a porch. He couldn't blow no leaves. He couldn't, cut no grass. He couldn't do shit. So, at that point, it's like, I got a baby or a child as a man, and I don't need that. I don't need to be telling a man what to do. I just feel like men just supposed to know, you just know your role. And he just didn't. So I felt like I had to tell him everything. And it just got to a point where I was just tired. So anyway, like, this cruise was almost a year out. So, I got my daughter on this her first cruise. I got my daughter on the cruise, whatever. So we get there, we get in a day early. We enjoying ourselves. We at the beach. So we stayed like 5 minutes from the port. Got up the next morning, got on the cruise ship, right? So we get on the cruise ship. And the first day on Royal Caribbean, I don't know y'all know that, but on the first day of your cruise, you get lobster tail and shrimp, amongst other things on the buffet. But that's what we was aiming for: the lobster tail, the endless lobster tail, and the shrimp. And it was amazing. Of course, the only thing I had to adjust to was it being cold. I've never really eaten cold lobster tail, but it's still good, nevertheless. Anyway, we're in the buffet, right? And I'm minding my business, doing my own thing, and I hear somebody say, "Hey, stranger." So I'm like, ain't nobody knowing me on the cruise ship. Like, I ain't nobody knowing me way down here in Florida. Like, they ain't talking to me. So I kept walking, and this time it just said, look back. So I looked back, and guess who it was, y'all? Guess who it was? Mind you, I'm there with my daughter, and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm surprised, right? Because this is the same person that couldn't pay for shit. That anytime we did go on a cruise, he would use all the rent, the bill money as his spending money. Like, he could never, like I told you, he couldn't do shit. Now all of a sudden, you down here in Port Canaveral, you own a cruise ship, you done booked another cruise, and you own cruise ship as me. So I'm in awe. But we didn't end crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was on some crazy shit, but I wasn't. I don't have no ill will towards this dude. So he's telling me how he's done all this stuff, right? He just started saying, I finished school, could never get him to finish school, because mind you, that's how we met. We was in school, and I thought, we're on the same trajectory to do things, but he couldn't finish school, he couldn't pay no bills, he couldn't do none of that. All of a sudden, now he got his own place. He finished school, he's in college, and you know me, like, I'm always for, if you with me or not. Listen, maybe I was the hindrance, I don't know, I don't care, but I'm just glad that they see you doing better. I tried to get him to talk to his children. He wouldn't talk to his children. All of a sudden, he done went back and forth to see his kids, you know what I'm saying, or his daughter. And I'm like, all right, cool, that's great. I think that is so good. So, he looked at me and was like, you still looking good. Of course, what was supposed to happen? So I say, I know you don't know about to take cruises by themselves, so I know you got somebody here, right? So he's like, yeah, but we, we just friends. Like, it ain't nothing like that. And I'm like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah. He said, we just friends. And he was like, I got all this stuff in my room because my granddaughter birthday, his birthday, all in the same month. So that's what this cruise was supposed to be, like a birthday cruise for all of us, since our birthday's in one month, and my birthday was coming up in a couple of days while we would actually be on the cruise. So to me, it was my birthday cruise. Excuse me. So he said, oh, I'm not here with none but a friend, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, well, I wish you the best, you know what I'm saying? But he was telling me how he had put the Moet in his room, because they offer you these little packages before you get on the cruise ship. You can have bottles of wine in your room set up for your birthday decorations. Me personally, I set the birthday decorations up for my granddaughter. They give you the thing to say happy birthday, all that. He said he got all that. I got me some chocolate strawberries. He said he did the same thing, but he said I said, what are you doing? I mean, I did say, what are you doing here? Like, well, how'd you know? Whatever. He was like, your booking was still attached to mine. And I'm like, how? He said, I could see your booking. He said, I just couldn't make no changes. He was like, I knew what time he's coming to, I know what time he's going to dinner. I knew what time he was going to board the ship. I know all this shit. So I'm like, but why are you keeping up with what I'm doing? Like, so, because it kind of gave, you was trying to meet up with me on this ship, right? So then it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. I kept it pushing. Went back over to my kids and my daughter and the people I was with. I was like, y'all, so they was tripping because they know who he is. I was like, oh, it's weird that he's on the cruise ship. I'm like, it is weird, but anyway. So we went on about our business. So, a couple of, maybe about an hour later, 2 hours later, we waiting on the elevator, and he come up in the elevator. And the elevator's a glass, so you can see who in the elevator. So he in the elevator, and I told my daughter, I said, look who in the elevator. She was like, yeah. So he came out. So he get off the elevator and he like, I bought a bottle of Moet. You want some of it? I'm like, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, he said he was there with a friend. So 9 times out of 10, it's a woman, because I literally said, like, I don't want no problems because I'm not even here for that. He clearly said they were friends. I'm like, all right. So he said, you want a bottle of Moet? I'm like, cool, shit, you want to share this bottle? I'm like, hell yeah. Mind you, I turned him on to the Moet. I turned him on to cruising. I turned him on to everything. So, so he was like, all right. So that was the end of it. He went his way. I went with my daughter. We went to our room because at that time we hadn't got our rooms yet. No, we was heading to our room. And so he says that, so boom. Me and my daughter sitting by the pool after we done ate, chilling. He just come up out of nowhere and sit down with the 2 bottles of wine. My daughter, my granddaughter is in the pool. So, I'm like, oh, okay. So he gives me a bottle, he gives me a wine glass, he take a wine glass. Mind you, this man never did none of this shit before we even got together. Like, not even before we got together, when we was together. He never had this amount of we call it I don't know what you call it, authority. Like, he didn't never take the initiative on anything. He always asked me for everything. So yeah, he does this. So yeah, so that's where it was. So he looked at me, winked, and said, so she got up and she left. Didn't see her no more, but one time on a cruise, and that was in breakfast passing. She was sitting at the bar. He was sitting with me and my family know him, so like they welcomed him with open arms because he's a cool person. So he never left my cabin. If he went to his cabin, it was to change clothes. He won't go no more than 15-20 minutes, and he was right back. So in my mind, they not messing, because at the end of the day, she fell back, and that's what I would do if I show up and you telling me, okay, we not messing or whatever. You ain't got this piss in my face to tell me it's raining, right? So she fell back. I didn't see her no more cruise except for breakfast. She said, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? I said, hey, what's up? I ain't got no problem with you. So I'm thinking everything kosher. So this man is buying me every drink because he have the drink package. So he's buying me every drink. Your girl was fucked up for the first 2 days on the cruise. I didn't even have a chance to get to see the whole ship because I was fucked up. I mean, that drink package is something serious. You got to be careful. Wine, shots, beers, whatever you want, they going to bring it to you. So whatever I felt, and then he even bought another bottle of Moet. While we sitting at the pool, he buys another bottle of Moet, 2 more wine glasses. We pour it up. We doing it. Shit, this nigga didn't even do this shit when we was together. Mind you, we had already been on 4 cruises before then. And he never did that. It was always, he never had money. He couldn't get it together. It was always something. This is the first cruise that he really just showed out. And he was like, I just wanted to make your birthday a perfect birthday. And I'm just like, okay, but you came with a whole female. And it seemed like it was a little heated first. But anyway, I digress. So we had a great time. Like, it really was a good time. We had a great time. It wasn't until after we got on the way home. He came back before I came back because he said they had rented a van to go down there. He had to get his portion of the money back from her. And he was talking to me the whole time. They did not act like they were fucking. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he's talking to me. He's like, we having, conversation. He got his money. He got back home, whatever. I stayed in Florida an extra day, 2 days. Because I don't like jumping off a boat. You get off so early. Trying to fight traffic again. I just stay. And I just relax. And then I slow roll it back home. So he was talking to me the whole time. And, you know, it wasn't until I got back home and then he decided, okay, because we stay in 2 different cities now. So he was like, can you just come get me? I ain't got to work the next day. I want to chill with you, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now, on the way, when we started chilling, so the phone rings and I can hear her. And she says, what are you doing? No, she said, you didn't text me when you got home. And she said, what are you doing? I could hear her. And he said, I'm chilling. Why you worried about what I'm doing? And in his mind, he probably thought that made me feel like, oh shit. No. He probably thought, yeah, I put her in her place and she hung up. I said, oh no. Oh no. Obviously, y'all have a rapport with each other if she's saying you didn't call, check, or text her when you got home. He said, yeah, normally I text her when I get home. I said, that seemed fishy to me because I don't text my friends every day I get home from work. You know, and I said, call her back. And this dumbass call her back. So, this is where it get real stupid to me. Why I feel like females don't have the level of respect for themselves that I do, right? So he calls her back and puts her on the phone. So I say, you know, this is such and such and such. You know, I need to ask you one question. One, that's all I got. Because I don't think I'm getting the whole story from him. I said, are y'all fucking? We're just friends. We're just friends. I said, are y'all fucking? She says, you mean since y'all been broke up? No, bitch. I mean since they invented time. Yes. She said, yes. She said, and, you know, we were messing with each other right before we got on the ship. This motherfucker gonna say, it won't like we did every day. Bitch, I asked you clearly. If you messing with her before me, I don't care what y'all did for y'all got on this ship. That ain't got shit to do with me. But once you decide you want to be in my face and in my presence and trying to rekindle some shit with me, please tell me the truth. Because I want to know what I'm dealing with. And I told him this multiple times. So he didn't tell her that he was fucking flying up to Kansas fucking his baby mama on 3 different occasions. And I said to him, I said, well, you only told me about your baby mama in Kansas. On the phone, she says, oh, so he's fucking his baby mama? Oh, that's why I couldn't go with him when he went up there. I said, wow. I said, I don't know what type of shit y'all got going on. I said, but I don't want to be part of it. She said, well, no, I don't do nothing like that. You know, I keep it real. I said, no, you don't keep it real. Because you got your ass on this phone and you said to me that y'all was just friends. And you kept reiterating that until I blocked you in a corner and I literally asked you, was y'all fucking? It's like you, and then he just fronted on you on the phone talking about why you worried about. I don't know what y'all. She said, I don't want to be with him. But he playing with my emotions. Which one is it? You don't want to be with him or he playing with your emotions? I said, what type of friends do you fuck? What type of friends say you're saying that they're playing with your emotions? She says it's all his fault. I said it's both y'all fault. I said, but I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over here and start going back over here to my life and continue dealing with my drama-free, stress-free life. And whatever you, the baby mama, and him got going on, y'all continue that. Because I don't have time. I have more respect for myself to let a nigga play in my face. This man took you on a whole cruise. He took you on a whole cruise just to play in your face, and you allowed him to play in your face. I'm not built like that. I don't care if we are friends with benefits. Let me know what's going on. You don't have to take me on a cruise knowing this woman didn't know how to get on the boat, what ports, what to get off at the port, what to do, none of that shit. You left her just to run behind me. I mean, we was at the shows, we was drinking, we was at the bar, we was at the pool. He never left my side. And it's like, yeah, if you would have just been 100 and said, listen, we fucking, you know, I don't want to fuck with her no more. I seen you, we rekindled. Hey, we could have took off. Really, we could have done something better. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that you was going back over here telling this woman, because this is what she told me he was telling her. You know, when he says he's going to meet with you, like when we linked up after the cruise, it was like, oh, we're trying to discuss some legal shit that we had together that we need to get taken care of. I'm like, so you didn't even tell this woman that you was trying to run behind me or be with me. That's okay. It's okay, because I'm going to grant your wish. You ain't never got to worry about me no more, because I don't do that. I don't do that. This man literally can spin the block on any of his exes. He literally has the baby mama, the ex-wife, and her. All exes. And then he gonna ask me, well, can I call you sometime? Can we talk sometime? Can we do Thanksgiving together? Can we go to Christmas? Can we? No, talk to that bitch, honestly, because I don't mix shit like that. So this is just a reminder, like, don't spin the block. Don't spin the block on people, like, because people were like, I feel like he just wanted to play games, or if he didn't want to play games, I don't know what he wanted to do, because it just was so confusing. And I don't do confusing. I don't do drama. I don't do bullshit. I just want what I want. I just want who want me. I just want you to be honest. I just want to be straight up. Like I said, whatever happened before, once we broke up, that was not my concern. I could care less. And I told him that. It's just moving forward. What are you doing? And if I ask you what's going on, let me know. Because then I know there won't be no surprises. So when she say, oh yeah, we fucking, that's not a surprise to me, because you already told me that. That's cool. I can deal with that. That's fine. Shit, people break up, people move on. That's what happens. Nobody expect for you to be a virgin or a saint, because you, like, no. But at least tell somebody what they're dealing with. And sometimes people can't be honest, and then also women will ask for the truth and can't handle it. So he kept saying, I just thought if I would have told you that, you wouldn't have dealt with me. I can understand that, but at the same time, I gave you an out plenty of times. We talked about this plenty of times. If you have anything else, just tell me now, because if it come out later, it's going to be a problem. He said he understood. So, he blew his chance, but I feel like, you know what? He wasn't my person. That's just what it was. It wasn't for me to spin the block. He made my birthday great. Bought me a Chanel bracelet, shots.